How are you tonight? I'm Dr. Suzanne Fox. I'm here today with co-host Sherry Savarno. Say hi, Sherry.
Hey,
And a
everyone.
very, very special guest, Denise Norris, is with us tonight.
Hello.
Yes,
Hey.
yes. Some of you may know Denise from her appearances in some of the films that have happened, and she is amazing because she has lost an incredible amount of weight following this plant-based diet, and she's also a nurse. So that's what makes her very, very special, and we are so pleased to have her here tonight. So Denise, did you want to introduce yourself in any way, or?
You pretty much did.
Okay, there you go. All right. Well, I just wanted to ask you to start everything off. How long have you been a nurse?
In September, it'll be 3 years.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of a relatively new profession for you.
Yes.
What were you doing before you were a nurse?
I went back to nursing school when I was 40 years old.
Oh,
the job I had before this, I got to work out of my house with people who had Social Security disability, and it was a grant funded position, and they did away with it. So since I was a dislocated worker, work one helped me go back to school. So I decided to go back to nursing school.
Wow. And what made you want to be a nurse?
I've always been interested in the medical profession. I really long time ago, I wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Ooh.
But I figured at 40 years old, that would have taken me too long. So I decided to be a nurse, and I actually like it better anyway. So
yeah,
I mean, not that I know what brain surgery is like, but
I imagine it's extremely stressful and very long and tiring.
It is.
Oh, nursing.
What kind of nurse are you?
I work on a progressive care unit, so it's a step down from critical care in the local hospital here.
Okay.
Nice.
So they're critical care, and then you're in the progressive unit, which means they're getting ready to go.
Right. They come to us when they don't meet qualifications for critical care, meaning usually it's one-on-one, one nurse to one patient. So so they come to us, and we usually do 4 or 5, depending on the acuity of the patient.
Yeah, I've heard sometimes they get as many as 6 or 7 even.
Not on my floor.
Well, thank goodness for that. That does not sound easy or pleasant to deal with at all.
And it's not safe patient care.
No, it's not. It's
and
definitely
at 5, it's still sometimes skeptical because it's difficult to do. But yeah.
Yes. Well, Sandra's watching, and she says that you are very inspiring, and she loves watching you do this.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's awesome, right?
Thank
you.
How
did you find out about this whole plant-based, no oil added diet? What brought you to this way of eating?
Well, my best friend, Christy, she found Julie Christensen. She's with protectivediet.com. Back then it was plantpurity.com, but she found her and was working with her and wanted to go out to Chicago to meet her. And she had some kind of event she was going on and stuff, and she wanted me to go with her. And I was doing Weight Watchers when I first started. I lost my first 100 pounds with Weight Watchers.
You lost your first 100 pounds with Weight Watchers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Christy was the one that wanted to eat healthier and do plant-based. And I had no idea. I had never even tasted almond milk at that time. She was like, here, just try it. I'm like, ew, what's, almond milk? That sounds gross. No. And she's like, just try it. So I did, and it was pretty good. So she was like, well, we have I think it was 30 days before we went to go meet Julie in Chicago. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to go meet her and do this thing, I want to say that I tried her program.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try it for 30 days. And I tried it, and I lost 16 pounds my first 30 days, and I felt great. It wasn't even more about the weight. It was how I felt. I felt amazing. I had so much energy, and I just felt really good.
Yeah, that is the most amazing part about the whole plant-based thing. It's just the lack of aching joints, and you don't even realize things that are hurting until after you start eating this way, and then all of a sudden it's all better. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she was the one that got me into it, and I'm glad she did.
Yeah, seriously, because that was amazing. How long did it take you to lose all the weight that you lost?
It took me about 2.5 years to lose it all. I really didn't do, other than walking my dog Charlie, I really didn't do any exercise. So it was purely the food for me. And I lost it quickly at first because, the heavier you are, the quicker it comes off. But then I plateaued for a while, and I struggled with emotional eating and binge eating. And even like plant-based, you can still gain weight. I gained, like, even I've lost 235 pounds. I gained back about 30 pounds because of, I started like, well, I'm close enough to my goal now. I'm going to start eating peanut butter again. And, all the nut butters, the high fat plant-based foods.
Always call us.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I kind of slacked on it a little bit and let my emotions and, I have like seasonal affective disorder. So all those kinds of things just, made it so easy for me to gain back another 30 pounds, even plant-based.
Yes. Well, I mean, it does come to, I've noticed that the closer you get to the goal weight and where you're trying to stay, that's when the exercise can really start to count. Yeah. Losing 50, 70, 80, 100 pounds, if you need to lose that much weight, seems to almost come off close to effortlessly. But when you get real close, like within 10% of your goal, that seems like when it really starts mattering, the amount of food that you're eating and the exercise. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. And it's not even, I think it's more of not just about what you're eating and how you're moving your body. That's super important, like very important. The food, I think, is the most important, and then exercise. But you also have to be willing to do the mind work. You have to set your mind right, or you'll just fall right back into the same traps you were doing before. So, and that's kind of where I was starting to head back to, letting the old way of thinking. Like, I mean, it's hard when you're almost 500 pounds. It's hard to rethink and retrain your mind that you're not that big fat girl anymore. Like, I still thought I was the fat girl. I still felt it. Even now, sometimes I'll look down, I'm like, man, I feel so fat today. And then somebody will be like, what? You look so skinny. I'm like, no, I don't. So it's like you have to be willing to do the hard work of the emotional part of it as well.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, so you were close to 500 pounds at one point?
Yeah. I don't even remember. I don't even know if I know exactly how heavy I got, because the last time I really weighed myself on a scale, I was 421 pounds was the last time I got on a scale. And I was so super depressed after that I just like ate whatever and drank. I was
avoided it.
Yeah. And but I knew I was in a size 8X back then.
Wow.
So yeah.
I mean, there's not much.
How much?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how much weight did you end up losing altogether?
235 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a whole person, and a big person at that.
Yeah, and it's weird. So like now I'm like, man, it's kind of hard for me to believe that I was that big. Like I can't imagine carrying around another 235 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like picking up another person. Like the other day I was out with Charlie in the woods, and he's 10 years old now, so he's kind of slowing down, and he didn't really want to walk anymore. I'm like, man, I don't know if I can carry you. I'm like, I used to carry 200 pounds, so I can carry you. He's like
Charlie around your, you got to just do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'll throw him on my back.
Yeah, you guys go out walking quite a bit now, because I always see your Facebook page with him and walking around and stuff.
Yeah, we do, but that's another, like, when he was younger, when he used to be able to walk more, we did 8 miles a day. Now, when we first started, I could only do like down to the end of the block and back, but we worked up to doing 8 miles a day. But now that he's getting older, he doesn't really want to walk as far. Yeah. And it's weird because I feel guilty going and doing stuff without him. So like for a long time, like I didn't go off and do anything else because like I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to leave Charlie home. But now I'll take him for a walk and I'll go jump on the bike, or, I'll go do kayaking and get my upper body workout in, stuff like that. So
you already took him for a walk, so he's nice and tired. So you don't have to feel guilty about leaving him there. And plus he has Chester, right? He can play with Chester.
Well, Chester's kind of a bully. Charlie doesn't like
cats are a little bit psychopathic, right? Yeah. Did I say that out loud? I don't want to get in trouble. I love cats, though. I really do. I haven't had a cat in a long time. I'm waiting for one to walk up to me outside. That's what's got to happen, because every time I bring one home, it totally turns into a disaster. It never works out. So I'm waiting for one to actually come up to me, just like the last one I had did. So yeah, so funny. What has been the biggest surprise out of everything that's happened with your weight loss? The surprising thing.
I don't know that I've had any surprises. I guess, like I said, when you first start on your weight loss journey, you're like, when I get down to, I remember I can remember thinking this, when I get to a size 14, I'll be happy. You know, that'll be it. Like when I get to 14, I'll be happy. Well, I got down to a size 8.
Wow.
Yeah. At my lowest, I was a size 8. And it didn't magically happen. I wasn't magically happy. I still had, because I'd lost so much weight, I still had a lot of excess skin that I was like, you know, you get into that mind frame of like, oh, I'm never going to be able to really feel comfortable in my body. You know, and that kind of like led to me, well, if I'm going to be like this, I'm going to start eating avocados and peanut butters. The stuff I really wanted to eat, you know?
Yeah.
So it kind of surprised me that once I lost that much weight, that my life didn't magically just, you know, make me happy.
Well, I think it turns out to be like, you know, it comes down to the self-love. How much do you love yourself? Because, you know, the way that we talk to ourselves, we would never, ever talk to anybody like that.
Right.
We would never do that. It's just so mean. It's incredibly mean. And sometimes when you think about that, you know, what in the world? So I think about that and you know, you have to be loving this person now, no matter what, is what it comes down to. And no matter what size anybody is, if they're, you know, 500 pounds or 110 pounds, they have to love themselves or they can't love anybody else. It's difficult to be happy with who you are.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can get caught in that mindset of being just not as happy as you should be because of that.
Right.
You know?
And sometimes it's not, and even that, you know, the mindset, the mind work you have to do, it's not you do it one time, you're done. Like you have to do it every single day.
Every day, look in the mirror and say, hey, that person is valuable. That person is doing a fantastic job. That person looks amazing. And you have to really love yourself every single day. It's like a relationship.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's the same. You have a relationship with yourself. And if you know, don't love yourself, it's hard to love other people, you know? Right. So yeah, it's tough business. Yeah. Now you do shift work at the hospital, right?
No, you mean shift work by like first shift, second shift?
Yeah.
Changes. No, I do 7 to 7:30, 12 and a half hour shifts.
Wow.
But the days change. So like sometimes I'll work 3 days in a row, 5 days in a row.
Is that your dog?
No, he's over here sleeping.
That was Silas.
Oh, that's Silas. Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out who that was. Okay.
No, it wasn't Charlie. But yeah, my days change. It's not like a set schedule, set days of a week all the time. It's crazy. I don't even know the day most of the time.
So do you work the nights or the days?
No, I work days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're there when everything's really busy.
Yes.
Now your coworkers, did you lose the weight and then start working as a nurse?
Yes.
Okay. So they didn't see you when you were at your heaviest.
No.
They have no idea.
Well, they do, because I put a picture on my locker. I didn't even tell anybody. I went to school with some people for nursing school that work where I work now. So they saw the tail end of it. But I put my pictures, my before and after pictures on my locker, and people would come up to me and be like, that's not you. That's really
amazing.
You. Yeah.
I was looking at the picture before we got started. It is completely amazing. The transformation is just incredible.
It's kind
of cool.
I have it on my clipboard that I carry around when I'm in patients' rooms and stuff. And the back part of it is Charlie. So that always gets the conversation started, you know, with their dogs and stuff. And then I'm like, well, you saw the back, so now you have to see the front. And the front part is like my before and after pictures and stuff. And it's kind of cool because it lets me talk to them about how I did it and how they can do it. And
yeah. Do you have like a group you lead or anything like that?
No, not yet.
Not yet? I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah.
That's got to be. What's that?
How did you hear?
Oh, I didn't hear anything. No, I'm guessing.
Oh.
I'm guessing that there has to be something going on, because it only makes sense that you've had all this success and you're a nurse, and it just would make sense that you would have some kind of group situation going on where people could get some serious help if they needed it, because you're the person to do it.
Yeah, I'm working on getting something started, like doing my own health coaching business.
Nice.
Denise Norris, plant-powered RN health coach. So I'm not sure
Absolutely.
exactly what it's going to look like, if it's going to be like one-on-one or groups. I would love to be able to hold a group, like classes in the hospital, and have like the actual patients come to the groups. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out and get it going.
Yeah, it can be tough to figure that out because like I'm a physical therapist and I try to do that where I am too, but I'm just by myself. I'm not affiliated with any hospital group. So it's kind of the same. We're healthcare professionals and we definitely have access to the people who need this information, but do they really want to hear it is another thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I figured if it's something that I can get the hospital to like let me use their conference room or something, the information out there, like just advertise it, and then whoever shows up for it, obviously they're going to be interested in it. So
well, you know, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine has that. You can get that certification as some kind of cooking coach or something. And if you get that, then that would be that's one avenue you could use to get into. To, you know, just like it would be like a, you know, legitimate way of doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say, and you know, Plant Pure Nation, the people who do Plant Pure Nation have those pods, and maybe you can set up a pod like that as well.
I've looked into that.
Oh goodness, that's my dog. Oh my goodness, let me make her stop. Hold on.
But yeah, I've looked into those Plant Pure Pod Nations. Thought about starting that here in the community too.
Sorry about that.
That's really good.
They went a little nuts. There's a glass door they can see, and there's somebody walked by with a dog, so they just go nuts. Shh, guys, quiet.
Yeah, Charlie's attention.
Charlie's sleeping, right?
No, he's awake now.
Oh, he's awake now. You heard these guys, huh?
Yeah.
There, I shoved him in another room, so hopefully that'll be the end of that for a little bit. Crazy.
So with your shifts at work, how do you make sure that you always have the right food available for you to eat, like during lunch and
you know, it's funny, people make fun of me because my lunch bag that I bring is like it's almost like a duffel bag. It's like this huge it's an insulated bag, and you can it's got two sides on it. So yeah, I bring all my food. The hospital puts chlorine in the water, and I don't like drinking chlorinated water. So I bring my water. I always bring food, and I always make sure I bring snacks, things that I can eat quickly. Because, I mean, there's times where you don't get a lunch at all. Like in a 12 and a half hour shift, you don't get to sit down. Sometimes you're supposed to get a half-hour break and 2 15-minute breaks, but you rarely, I don't think I've ever gotten a break since I've worked there in 3 years, almost 3 years.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, you don't even have time to use the bathroom.
No. And there's days that like I barely drink 20 ounces of water, and I know it because I walk out of there with a headache, and I'm like, ugh. But you're not allowed to carry drinks on you out there. It's challenging.
No, they make it almost impossible, you know?
It is. It's hard. But I make sure I have quick things in my bag that I can like quickly shove into my face.
What are your quick things that you have?
Like banana muffins.
Okay.
I usually make banana muffins.
Like Chef AJ ones?
Huh?
Is it the Chef AJ ones?
No, Julie's Protective Diet.
Okay, do the Julie's Protective Diet. Okay.
ProtectiveDiet.com. Yeah, her banana muffins, and I add walnuts to them. And then, and that's not really technically Protective Diet. She doesn't advertise, or not advertise, condone.
She doesn't advise you use the walnuts?
Yeah, just because they're high
heart disease and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And then I always have Lara bars on me too, because they always have junk food there at the hospital, like donuts, cakes, cookies, chocolate. There's chocolate There's chocolate right next to my locker when I go to my locker. Like it's literally right in my face. And chocolate is my thing. Like I love chocolate. So I have to have either like Lara bars, or I make the Chef AJ brownies. Have you ever had those? Yeah, they're real good.
Those are pretty good too.
Yeah, they're really good. They're made out of walnuts though. But if I have things like that, then I won't get into their stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes like I have a coworker who brings pretzels all the time, And I don't want to eat the pretzels because that's pretty processed and it's just white flour. But if I didn't bring anything, around 3, 4 o'clock, those pretzels start looking mighty tasty. And that's it. I break it down. Like, I think today I must have eaten the whole bag. I feel bad, but I mean, I wasn't prepared. So there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, if you're not prepared.
Yeah. I'm there for like 12 hours. I brought enough, I brought 1 bag of frozen vegetables and I nuked it in the microwave around lunchtime. So that's not gonna hold you. That's not gonna hold you. Yeah,
I have to eat things on days I work. I have to eat things that'll keep me full. Like for breakfast, I usually eat. I use my Instant Pot and make steel cut oats, and then I have to put like chia seeds in there. That helps keep you full. Or I'll do. I love potatoes. Like I love potatoes anyway. Like, it doesn't matter how you make them. I'll eat potatoes.
I love potatoes too.
Yeah,
they're so fantastic.
I go through a lot of potatoes.
They're terrific.
Yeah, but usually my go-to meal in the morning is either the oatmeal with the chia seeds or 4 Reels Life, biscuits and gravy.
Ooh.
I do those. That's pretty filling, and it keeps me.
What's it called?
It's FO Reels, REALS Life. 4 Reels Life.
Okay.
It's really good.
Is that like something you buy that at the store?
No, that's a website. That's the website you go to, and she's got a recipe for the biscuits that I like make. I quadruple the recipe.
Wow.
and I freeze the biscuits, so I always have them in my freezer. Because the other day I made some oatmeal in my Instant Pot, and I didn't make sure that the little lever thing was on there right, so that it would hold the pressure. And it burned my oatmeal. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to eat for breakfast? And I had to go to work. But thank God I had the biscuits in my freezer. And I make the gravy mix is like you'd make it in a food processor, and I just keep it in a ball jar in my cupboard. And then all you have to do is add soy milk to it.
Oh, so there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, quick breakfast.
I'm gonna check this out and see this because that sounds pretty good and fast.
Yeah, really good and fast. But I mean, it's something you still have to plan ahead. I cook it, and same with the muffins. I cook them like today. Well, I work this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So tomorrow's going to be my cooking day. I went shopping yesterday. So tomorrow's going to be my cooking day, and I'll like portion out all my meals for the days that I work. Cause I literally go to work, come home, maybe walk the dog, go to sleep, go to work, come home. You know what I mean? I don't do anything else.
Like you probably commute close to, it's got to add an hour somewhere in there. And then the getting ready to do it. I mean, that ends up being like a 14, 16-hour thing. And then you're just done.
Right.
You get some sleep sometime.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? I don't even have kids, and I live 11 minutes from the hospital.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
So yeah, I'm like, people that I know some people I work with live an hour away and they have kids. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. It's a different way of organizing this stuff out. I tell you, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel for them.
You just have to plan ahead,
Well, I live half an hour away from my job, so it's not too bad. But I do have to, I am going to be stuck there. There's once I'm there, I can't leave because I have like patient after patient after patient, so I'm stuck. So I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I do have to pre-plan, or I end up eating whatever junk anybody else happened to bring in.
Right.
Which isn't a good thing. It's not a good thing. No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So you do work those crazy long things. Who's your favorite plant-based doctor?
I was thinking, I don't really know if I have a favorite one. I mean, I like them all, but I do have to say I did get to take a picture with Dr. Esselstyn. So I think he's my favorite just because he took a picture with me. And because I told him, I was like, I tell everybody, I tell all my patients, because most of the patients I have are heart patients that are in for heart attacks or going in for like 6th or 7th heart catheterization or strokes. So I really tell all my patients about him. And I told him about it when I met him. And he was like, acting like he was impressed with me. I'm like, you're the doctor. You're the one that got me going on this and stuff. But it was really cool to meet him and take a picture. So.
I had a patient of mine who I guess it was her aunt or it was her uncle who had some kind of heart problem. And they told him, it was like almost a hospice situation kind of thing. And I said, hey, go ahead and, it's worth a try. Email Dr. Esselstyn and see what he has to say. And he called her. Wow. He called her right away. That is really impressive. Yeah. I mean, you think this whole United States with like 300 million people and everybody's after him on a continual basis. And then some rinky-dink physical therapist tells some patient to call, and all of a sudden he's like calls them right. I mean, I just sent an email, see what he has to say about it. And he called her that same, within just like 24-hour period. It was just incredible.
Yeah,
and he made her feel a lot better. He told her exactly what to do and how to do it. And it was just an amazing situation.
That's awesome.
Wow.
He's very humble. He's not, trust me, I work with some doctors that are very,
you want to tell me?
yeah. So he's very humble and very down to earth and very approachable.
I've heard that about Dr. Greger as well.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet. I would love to meet him too.
Well, you can feel the love coming off the stage. It's incredible. I've never been in a situation like that before. I mean, everybody has their way of speaking, but you can feel it. Like, it'll stay with you for 24 hours after you see him speak in person. You're like,
oh, cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Yeah.
I love this story too, where Dr. Esselstyn helped Paul Chatlin with the plant-based nutrition support group up in Michigan. You guys know him?
What happened there?
Oh, well, he was rolling into surgery on the gurney, Paul was, and to have open heart surgery, like cabbage surgery, coronary artery bypass surgery. And Dr. Esselstyn, his doctor was like, hey, would you consider trying something else, plant-based, changing your diet instead of going under the knife? And Paul was like, yeah. So Dr. Esselstyn was like, go home and I'll call you in the morning. Like, he was literally getting ready to walk and like roll into surgery. And he was
Can you imagine how irritating that was for the hospital staff? Because they've like set the OR, they've got everything set up just for him. They've got the tray and all that, and how expensive all that is.
Yeah, but he went home and he followed Dr. Esselstyn's plan to a T. And I don't remember exactly how much weight he lost, but he completely reversed his heart disease. And now he like started this nutrition support group, and I can't remember how many members it has now, but I mean, thousands of members. It's huge now. I'm like, that one little seed that Dr. Esselstyn planted has created like this huge ripple effect, and Paul's helping so many people now.
It's just amazing.
It is.
It is. Every time I try to start a support group where I am, though, I don't know. I don't think I'm a really good like leader like that. I don't know. I guess I should give it another try, but it always ends up being difficult. I don't know. It's a lot of work. I have the space for it because like I have like an office and stuff. I have a space for it. I just don't have the I don't know. It seems like adding the potluck part seems to be really difficult. So yeah, that's fun. Well, Paul, if you're really interested in doing it, Paul's I think he's writing a book on like a manual, I think, on that would be a good idea. Yeah, how to start, and then like basically saying like, this is what I did wrong. You should do this next time. Why reinvent the wheel over and over again if it's already been done? Yeah, and now I mean his group is so big that that's how I met Dr. Esselstyn, because he had him as a speaker. Wow. And Paul has like volunteers and workers that help with the group now. It's that large. Yeah, that would be huge. Yeah, that'd be huge. It'd be nice if just to get at least one or two local people that were like really into this whole plant-based thing. That would be very helpful. Yeah, that always helps. Yeah. Do you have like anybody that's right there local with you that's really no? Very stubborn. Yeah, very stubborn. Everybody just insists that they have to eat these animals and this milk and this oil or they're just gonna die. Yeah. Yeah. Although I saw incredible. I don't remember where I was at, or what group or page I was on, but somebody's like mentioned something about being plant-based and in Richmond. I'm like, wait, Richmond, Indiana? You're here in Richmond? I don't know anybody here that's plant-based. Like, where are you at? And I don't think she responded to me or got back with me because I never like. It's probably because she was pretending, and then she's like, "Oh my God, we're really gonna." But who knows? I mean, like that plant, was it Plant Pure Pod? Yeah, if I get something like that started, it might. Yeah, I've had one of those for a couple years, but it's straggly. It's pretty straggly. Yeah. Really. Well, mine is, but it's probably something to do with me. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the, I'm sure it's me. Well, I think it's the area that you're in too. Cause like, this is highly military and it's, and plus it's kind of the South. So, I mean, everybody just has to have they just freak out if you take away their junk. Yeah. Yeah. I like it a lot. And sugar sweet tea. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit of a sugar sweet tea myself person, not as much as I used to be. I calmed down, but it's hard. Yeah. Hard to say no. Sugar was really hard. I thought cheese was hard for me to give up because like cheese was really hard. Like I love cheese on everything, but sugar is actually the hardest thing of all. Yeah. Have you given up sugar? Are you done with sugar? I gave it up. I gave it up for like
what's it been now? Like 5 years? 5 years since I've been plant-based. But then, like I said, over the last year, I kind of slipped back into like eating the higher fat foods. And then, like, you know, my friends, like I started getting more going out and stuff. And my friends like, oh, there's a vegan place here. There's a vegan place here.
All that vegan food is crap. Yeah, it's just all oil and grease.
It's so good. The vegan desserts, like, it tastes so good. I'm like, well, at least it's vegan.
Yeah, at least no animals died, right? I do go out once a week and eat a restaurant meal. I know it's terrible, but you know, you got to live, right? So that's what I do. But I don't, you know, I try to be as careful as I can be.
Yeah, and see, yeah, I have to be really careful about that because I tend to have that mindset of the all or nothing. Like, you know, if I eat something, even if it is vegan, well, I eat sugar. So, you know, I didn't intend on eating sugar, but I ate it. So now I might as well eat it all.
No.
Yeah. Same way.
You know, what do you say? Like, if you have a car and one of the tires goes flat, you don't go around and poke holes in the other 3 tires. You just, say, well, I got a flat tire. Let me fix that tire and go on, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I know it.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and I can tell other people that. But when you're in the middle of it, and especially if you're like, because I don't know about anybody else, but like I tend to be introverted and like isolate myself, especially if I am eating things that technically are bad and I shouldn't be eating. Yeah, I don't like tell people I'm doing it or like.
But it's kind of a good idea to just bring it out, you know? So what I do for myself is I take pictures of all the stuff and I put it on my hot potato club. And I'm like, that kind of disciplines me because I'm like, oh, good God, I don't want to put this on the hot potato club. You know, I'm going to be ashamed of having ate that, so I better knock it off, you know?
Yeah.
So I got kind of a little accountability there, you know?
Yeah.
I encourage other people to do the same, but I only get a little bit, you know, every once in a while. So it's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
It keeps us all honest, I guess, you know? Because what does Dr. McDougall say? All dieters are liars. Oh, there he is. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Simon.
Hi.
Hi, buddy.
Okay.
You're live.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Well, this has been amazing, Denise. And I just want to say thank you so very much for coming on and talking to us and sharing your story with us. We really, really, really appreciate it. I know it takes time to do it. You know, we didn't get a chance to see Charlie Brown. Where's he at?
You want to see him? He's
I want to at least see him here.
down here sleeping. Hey, Charlie.
There he is. Oh,
Aw.
Charlie Brown Norris, such a good boy.
Hi.
He was absolutely just a great dog.
Come here.
Oh, Charlie.
Hi.
He's coming to say hi. What a great little dog, huh?
Well, he's great, but you didn't know it, but he farted during this thing, and I was trying really hard not to make it back.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I was like, oh, man. But that's okay. I still love you, buddy.
But you know what? I mean, gotta love those dogs, man. Dogs are the best, you know?
Oh, yeah.
They are the absolute best. Well, thank you so very, very much for coming on to our show and, you know, telling us your story and everything. And we are going to get these groups going, Denise. We are going to do this one way or the other. We're going to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we will. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being able to share my story and spread the word that if I can do it, anybody can do it, really.
You're amazing. You are. You're really amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, now how do I stop?
I'm going to end it.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We'll end and then